Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. I have been itching to get onto this pack at the moment. We are going to be doing pack 8 of the Agore Models release and build the Spy Who Loved Me Lotus Esprit. Why have I been itching to get on it? We'll just check this out. I'll put that down on the floor. We'll see that later on in the build because that comes far later. Now, if you remember in the last pack, we were actually working on the front end of the vehicle. So what we're going to be doing is I think we're going to be finishing this area here today, and then we're going to be attaching this to what you just saw. So it's going to be pretty impressive. I am really enjoying this build, and the fact that I got to see the finished model at Telford last month, it makes me want to do it even more. Can't wait to get this done. Now, if you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description, and there's also a QR code on the screen. In fact, any of my builds that I'm doing at the moment and any of the links for anything that I show or I'm using, you can find just here if you click on my link tree. But I'm going to jump straight into it. So without further ado, let's get cracking. So it's all going to start with stage 58 that I've got here. We're going to be doing the front panel. So let's get this open. And as you see here, I've got two clamps. Now, these have already been made for us. They are spring-loaded. As you can see, we haven't got to put these together. They've already been made, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm going to be putting these into the fronts here. Now, they do have them so that the springs are facing out. So let's just put these in. They fit in just like that. Let's put the other one in. And it's best to just slide them in, as you can see. Perfect. What I want to do then is turn this panel over, and onto these sections here I've got a front panel to put in. That's going to go on just like that, and it's going to be secured from the underside. So one there, and one just on that side there. These are PS05 screws I'm putting these in with, and that is the end of that stage. In stage 59, we're going to start to assemble the torpedo tubes here. And once again, as you can see, we've got one of these spring-loaded sections already done for us. That's going to go into here exactly like we did the last one, with the spring facing upwards, and just slot that in so it just fits into the indent. Now, I'm going to bring over what we just created in the last stage. This is just going to go in this way, just onto this section here. We do have two located lugs, which is going to help align that. We are going to need to screw that into place, though. So once again, we've got a PS05 screw here to put that in with. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to do the next two parts together. I'm going to need this case for the torpedo tubes. I want it this way round, so when I lie it down, this section here is towards the floor. This is the side that we're going to be putting these in. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting in these sections here. This basically just goes over the top onto that middle section. These are the torpedo compressors, and I'm holding them in each side with PS14 screws. So one in this side. Perfect. And then just one in the other side. Excellent. And in the similar way, I've got the torpedo tubes. They're going to go into the lugs that we can see there. We do have two, or the holes there. We've got two lugs on that side. And once again, PS14 screws to put these into place. So one here, and then one on that side. Perfect. Now I'm going to bring over what we've been creating before, and you see we've got two holes here. I'm going to line these up with those holes just like that. They're going to be held in with PS05 screws, which I've got here. Get these in. That's one and two. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. Now, in stage 60, we're going to be attaching the bonnet and starting to put the headlights in. So I'm just going to open these up, and I'm going to go and get the bonnet. Now I'm going to put down just a soft cloth here because we haven't seen this for a while. There's the bonnet. That's what that's looking like. Just turn this over, and I've got some hinges in this bag. We're going to put the hinges on first. So we want to lay them down this way round. Just turn this around here. I'm going to be putting one just over this side, and then I've got one to put over on the other side. Now they're held in with DS23 screws. These are silver screws going into metal. So put some oil on this. That's one and two, and I'll do the same on the other side. There you go, that's the last one going in. Okay, let's bring over what we were working on in the last pack, and I want to make sure that this bonnet catch is all the way down now. Now what we're going to do is take the bonnet, and this is just going to be going on top just like that. Now we're going to leave the hinges loose at the moment, because I'm going to turn this upside down, again on my cloth mat. Just like this. I'm going to be pushing the hinges onto the pins on this side. So we've got one there, and one there. Now once again, the DS23 screws, that's those silver screws, is what I'm using to screw these in with. So let's get these in. We've got two for each hinge. And there we go, that's the hinges secured in. I'm going to open one of these DS29 screws up because I'm going to be attaching that bonnet release here to this tab just here. Now I'm screwing it in from the outside, and the catch here is going to go behind the tab. So it's going to go in. Don't know if you can see that on one of these cameras. Let's put it in and I'll show you how it looks. Just like that there. Going to tighten that up. Perfect. So you can go down and up. Put that to one side and bring over the first set of headlight surrounds, which look like this. We do have some LEDs here. I want to put the LEDs in through the bottom here so that I've got the one with the wire coming out the left one, and the one that's just loose on its own is coming out the right one, just like that. I've then got these reflectors here. They do say R for right. I'm going to plug these lights into the back of these so they're coming out there, and then I can just leave that loose for now because that is all there is to do in that stage. Now in stage 61 I'm going to be attaching the right headlight. So let's get all these parts out, and that means taking this headlight fascia that I've got here, and in this section here is where I'm going to be putting the lenses. So the lens is going to go in this way so it fits into the indent there. That's what it looks like from this side. Bring over what we've created last time. I'm going to be putting these reflectors in, but what I need to do is bend these wires round. So I'm just twisting these round so I've got them in one place, because you do want these reflectors here to be sitting quite flat in there. Now I want to grab the frame we're just working on, and we've got two larger holes here which is this is just going to be pushing into. So one there, and let's get that into place. That looks pretty good. I am going to hold this in now with some screws. I need some PS12 screws. These are really tiny. They're going into the four corners here. So I'll get all four of these in. And that looks really good. I like that. Okay, I'm going to put a hinge into this now. So again, making sure all of these wires are out the way. The hinge is actually just going to go onto these points down the bottom here. So I'm just going to get this into position. We want it this way round, so the bend is going like this. And push these over the tabs, like you can see on the top camera there. Holding them in with PS01 screws. These are silver screws. So that one's one. Let's get the other one in. Perfect. That one's two. So that's the hinge in place. I've got a bracket just to put onto this section here. Again, it can only go in one way because we do have a locating lug in there. That's held in with a PS05 screw. or I should say 2 PSO5 screws. And then I can bring over what we've been working on the bonnet. It's going to be going on this side because this is going to be the right side there. And I'm going to be putting it over that section just like that there. It's going to be held in with 2 DS23 screws. These are these silver screws. Now obviously this hinge is spring loaded and it's quite clever. I've just seen how it works now. I'm going to show you this. You're going to love it. Put this one in. Perfect. So that is the end of that stage. This is what it looks like when the headlights are in. As you can see, they are spring loaded. So they're going to be able to come down like that and open like that. Excellent. That's all there is to do in that stage. So if we've done one headlight, we're going to be doing the other one now. So I'm going to do these 2 stages together. This is stage 62 and stage 63. Let's get these open. And just like last time, put the LEDs through here. So the loose one is towards the longer side there. Just like this. Plug them into the back of these reflectors and ensure that we can get these wires just bent in, so not impeding anything on this side. And it also means that these will now be able to sit flat in there like that. Puts the reflectors into the frame. Again, it can only go one way around because it has got a shape section in the inside there. And then that is going to be pushed into position onto the headlights there. I need these small PS12 screws to screw 4 in round each corner of this section. And that looks good. I've got to put the hinge into place. So again, make sure that these cables are out the way so I can get the hinge over here. And when we put the hinge in, just get this side in here, it fits over like that. These are held in with the PS01 silver screws. Just going to open these black PS05 screws because we need to move those wires again. Put this bracket in over the top. And then make sure I've got these DS23 screws ready because once again I'm going to bring over what we've been working on. Put these over here and get these silver screws in place. So with those screws in, we've got 2 headlights there which go down and flip up like that. That's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 64, I'm going to be assembling the torpedo launcher. So I'm going to be taking this section just here and we're going to be putting a cone just onto the end here. Pushes in, so that looks like that. Do the same with another blue cone. And then we've got the gold cones going next to it. Now this does have a locating lug at the bottom there. We're going to be putting this into place, matching this back indent that you can see there. So this is going to be going in this way. I want these black PS09 screws and I'm securing these in 2 of these from the back. So one this side and one this side. Now if I look at the underside of this, we've got these 3 holes here, which I'm going to be putting a bracket in. Now the bracket is going to be going in this way, just over the top, like that. It's held in with PS09 screws. That's these black screws still. We need 2 of these. And then finally on this section here, I've got a hinge to put in. So the hinge, again, has got 2 locating lugs. It's going to go on there just like that. These are held in with PS01 screws. These are these silver screws here. And they actually go into the middle holes. So I'll get 1 in. There you go. That's how that's going to look. Get the other one in as well. And that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 65, we're now going to be attaching that torpedo launcher. Wow, look at some of the stuff here. Look, we've got the number plate and everything. This is going to be good. So I've got the torpedo launcher panel here with the Esprit logo on it. I'm going to bring over that torpedo tube I've been working on. What I want to do is pull this hinge all the way up backwards like that, because I'm going to be putting, oh, you can tell the spring loading on this. I'm going to be putting this launcher panel just on there like that. It's going to be held in with PS01 screws. Again, that's these silver ones. So as you can see, that's what the panel looks like on there. Bring over this section again, turning it upside down. I think you can see where this is going to go. It's going to be fitting over this center panel just here. So again, this is going to be like a pop-up thing. Fits in just like that. It's held in with DS23 screws. A little bit fiddly to put in because of that spring-loaded mechanism there, but there we go. Here's the first DS23 screw going in, and I'll just put one in on the other side here. Perfect. So now that panel is in as well. As you can see, this is spring-loaded just like the headlights. That's excellent. I'm going to put that to one side. You're going to love the next bit, because we have this section which we created all the way in stage 2, I believe, looking like that. I'm going to take lead 03, that's going to go in this side here, and then lead 04 is going to go in this side over here. Now I do want to bend these leads round because they're going to be tracing the inside of this edge here. So I did the same on this side. Now we've got some adhesive tape here, just so I can ensure that I do have this wire pinned in along this side. So one there, do the same on the other side. Better to get tweezers to get that off. I found that incredibly difficult to take that off then. Okay, let's get this one in. Perfect. There we go, that's traced them round. Bring over my cloth. Once again, I'm going to turn this upside down, and I'm going to be putting this in the position this way round, so this goes over the top like this. Perfect. Now we want to make sure that this tab here fits just like that, and I'm going to be attaching that at that point first with a DS01 screw, and that's screwed right through the front just here. And then 2 more DS01 screws, one going in this side and one just going in the other side. Okay, let's have a look how that looks. That looks brilliant. Okay, put that to one side, and I just need to cut 2 brackets off of this. So I've got my God Hand sprue cutters here. Once again, bring that back over. And now I want to take the wires from the headlights and the lights at the front here and put them in here, and this is what I'm going to be using these connectors for. They're going to go over the top just to give you a little bit of wire tidy. Push them in. Perfect. Do the same on the other side. And then once that's in, I'm going to be taking the front panel that we created right at the very start of this pack. This is going to be going into the position just here. That's held in with DS02 screws. These are black screws. And we need 3 of these. And then with the headlights now, to keep them in place now, that's in. When I close these, look, they clip into these clamps here and hold themselves in. So we've got one that side, one that side, and then I can do the same with that center launcher as well. So now when I turn this over, as you can see, everything is actually in place. I love it. I've now got the number plate to put on. That's just a clip in. It's going to go into these points here and here. Perfect. And that is all there is to do in that stage. So here you go, last stage of this pack. We're going to be attaching what we've just created onto this bodywork. So the first thing I'm going to do is in the front of this section. I've got a little washer nozzle, which I almost just dropped. In fact, I did just drop it. I had to go on my hands and knees to find that then. That's just going to go into this point here. And it's just a push in. There you go, that's in the position there. Now, I know this is a submarine, but really you'd have the nozzle pointing towards the window. In the instructions, they've got it pointed away. But I've got mine pointing towards the window. Not that you're going to need it. Okay, next thing I need are these door latches here. And I need the right-hand side one first. They are labelled. They're going to be going into the positions just here like that. Now, they're held in from the other side with a PS17 screw. Now this is a flange screw, so get that in here. There we go, that's one in. Just do the same on the other side for the left hand side one. Very good. And now, I've been waiting for this. I'm going to be turning this over, just like this, and attaching the front end to the vehicle. And did you see what I did there? I did it at an angle like this, and that'll enable it to go in perfectly, just like that there. So then these are on top of these pillars here. So I've got lots of DS1 screws now. I'm going to be putting these into place. We need 2 each side. So let me just put this back on here. Get 1 in here. That's going to hold that side in. Perfect. Do the same on the other side. And then finally, we've just got these 2 positions here. And with that in place, that is all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. And there you go. That's how that looks. Now, if you want to get these up, what you'd actually do is you push this down, you see, and they come up just like that. I am absolutely loving this build, and if you're enjoying it too, you want to build it for yourself, I have put a link in the video description. There's also that QR code on the screen. But really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.